Welcome back. In this section, I'll be showing you how to create a Facebook business account that you use to run ads for your business. Now, I'm sure you have a Facebook account. This is the normal Facebook account that you are used to. But when it comes to doing business on Facebook or running advertisements using Facebook, this is not the area we are going to use. There's a different section for business owners to run ads for their goods and services, and that is the business account section of Facebook. So before you run ads, you want to have a business account. Don't worry, creating a business account is free. So let's head straight to another tab where I'll show you how to create the business account from scratch. Now, in order for you to have a business account, you want to visit this site, business.facebook.com/create, CREATE. This is the URL you visit in order to create your own business account. This is it. As you can see, Business Manager, manage ads, pages, and people who work on them all in one place. It's free. Once we are here, we want to click on create. This process is very, very simple and straightforward. Now, Facebook is going to ask you what you want your business name to be called. This is up to you. Give this any name you want to give it. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be used anyway. They are not going to tell you to bring your CAC certificate for verification. So for the purpose of this class, let me just manufacture a name to give to this particular business account I am trying to create. Say, Ecom Business. Yep. That's it. So you say, input your business email. The email you'll be using here, make sure it is correct, because once you input this email, before you proceed to the next step, a verification will be sent to the email that you need to click on before you can proceed to the next step. And if anything should happen in this account, the notifications will be sent to that email. So you want to put a valid email address here. So I'll put one of my email addresses. Now let's see. As I earlier mentioned, you can see that they said I should confirm the email address. So click the link sent to this particular email address to receive full account access. This is what you need to do. Without clicking on that link, you can't get full access to this account. So I will go to the email address. You can see this here from Facebook. It says confirm your business email address. I'll click on it and I'll click on confirm now. That's what you should do. Once that is done, you have effectively taken the first step towards creating ads using Facebook by creating your business account. The business account has been created. Unfortunately, the network is a bit slow. But if you come here, you'll notice that before this business account was created, if you were here, you would only see your personal profile. But now I've been able to create a business account. So I'm not running ads using my personal profile. Although it is possible for you to run ads using your personal profile, but it is more advisable to run ads using your business account, because the business account is more flexible than the personal profile account. Now, one thing you should know is this. For every individual Facebook account, you can create a maximum of 2 business accounts. Take note, for every personal account on Facebook, you can create a maximum of 2 business accounts. Now I've been able to create one. I can as well go ahead and create a second one. But you have to be careful with this. Sometimes Facebook does not allow you to create both of them at the same time. So maybe after using this one for some time, you can try and create the second one. But let me try and see if I can create the second one immediately while we are still in the business of creating business accounts. Let me try. So I'll repeat the same process I did when I created the first business account. This one, I'll give it $1 billion. That's what I want to give. I'll input the same email address. Okay. I'll go back to my email address. You see that I've received the second verification email. I'll click on it. Now we have 2 business accounts. You can see it here. Remember, when we create, initially we had just a personal profile account. Then we created Ecom Business as our first business account. Secondly, we created the $1 billion account. you can't create more than 2 business accounts. But creating of accounts does not stop there. This is just one step. After you've done this, the next thing you need to create is an advertising account. Now, a business account is different from an advertising account. The business account looks more like the parent, the advertising account looks more like the child. So the business account has so many things, of which the advertising account is one of those features of a business account. So it's inside of your advertising account that you will create, that you'll be able to use to create ads to run for your product. So what we want to do now is to create our first advertising account. We're under business setting. If you check here, you see people, partner system, accounts, pages, add accounts. If you click on add accounts, that's where you want to click on. We are under business settings inside of the $1 billion business account. Whichever one you want to use to create your first ad account, you just have to switch between these. So let me just use the first one I created to create our business account, our ad account rather. So we are under ecom business. I will go to add account section. If you notice here, there is no ad account here. We are required to create a new ad account, or you can add an ad account to this account if someone gives you access to use their ad account. But what you want to do here now is to create your first ad account. So here it says add an ad account, request access to an ad account, or create a new ad account. This is what you are going to do. You are going to be creating a new ad account. So you click on it. This method of creating ad account is pretty much straightforward. Just like you named your business account, you want to also give a name to your ad account. So what do I give to this particular one now? Let me just give this ad account tutorials. Time zone, select your time zone. Where are you? What time zone are you currently in your location? In my case, it's GMT +1 for Nigeria, Lagos. So I'll leave it at that. But if you are in a different time zone, you want to select from the options given. Well, I'm leaving mine unchanged. So currency, which currency do you use? My preference is usually the US dollars because I've been using it over the years and it's easier for me to make my calculations using the dollars. However, there are so many Nigerians who make use of Naira currency. So if you want to make use of Naira, you can simply look for the Naira currency and select Nigerian Naira. That's it. Whatever currency that will be easy for you to understand, that is what you want to select. For this one, I will be making use of the Nigerian Naira. Let's see how it works because it's been a very long time since I made use of the Nigerian Naira. But it's basically the same thing. Whatever you spend, you are going to pay for it. That's just it. Whether it's in Naira or in US dollars, none is better than the other. But it's just for ease of understanding. For me, I understand using dollar better than using my Naira to calculate. But it's fine. So let's make use of the Naira. So next. So the ad account will be used for, you want to select the first one. You're using it for your own personal business, not for another business or another client. So you select my own business. So this is what I'm selecting. And I click on create. So we've effectively created our first ad account. Here it says add people and set permissions. Which people do you want to add to give permissions to run ads here? You are adding just yourself for the time being since you are the owner of this account. So you select yourself. Then what do you want to have access to? You want to click on everything here. Manage campaigns. You want to be able to manage all campaigns. You want to also be able to have full control of all the ad accounts you will create. Once you select this, click on assign and you are done. Next thing, they ask you to add payment information. Now you can do this while you are creating your ad account, or you can do it later when you create your first ads. I usually do mine once I create my first ads, but it doesn't matter. You can simply say, okay, I just want to get it over and done with, and click here. Once you click here, okay, you select your country, Nigeria, of course, currency, Naira, GMT, Lagos, cool. Go to next. Then you select what do you want to use to make your payment. Debit card, right? That's what we use here in Nigeria. Once you do that, next, you want to input the debit or credit card details you are going to be using to pay for your ads in here. Now, your details are safe. We're talking about Facebook here. So whatever details you put here is safe. And they would not charge you more than what you spend. Whatever you spend, be it in naira or dollars, is exactly what they will charge you when it's time for you to pay for the advertising you've done. So let me get a card and input its details into the spaces provided. Let me give you some premium information beforehand. Now you realize that our Nigerian cards are very limited in terms of how much they can pay for international transactions. Before COVID, cards used to have unlimited transaction limits. Then they reduced it to $200. Then they reduced it to $100. Now, even some cards have reduced their transaction limit for international transactions to $20. Some cards no longer allow international transactions. So you want to check with your own bank and see the limit their card offers you. Another thing is this: whatever the limit the card offers you, that one card might not be enough to pay for all the ads you will run in an entire month. So you might want to consider having multiple cards to make payments for your advertising. But for today, let's assume that we're having just one card and we want to put it here. This is just the way to put in your card details. The same way you put in card details when you're making payment for anything you are buying online. That's the same thing we're doing here. So I'll be inputting my details. Say 778 31. These numbers are blurred so that you don't see the details I'm imputing. Now, once you are done, you want to click on Save. Another thing I forgot to tell you is that you want to have some amount of money in your card when you are imputing the details for the first time, because Facebook will try to debit the card for at least $1 to be sure that your card works properly. So you want to have an equivalent of at least $1 in your card when you are putting your card details for the first time. So I'll click on Save. If this card is working, it should be saved properly and will be done with this aspect. Awesome. Can you see it? It says card successfully saved. VAT ID. This does not matter if you don't have a VAT. You don't need to, just leave it. It's optional. So you don't need to do this. Just click on skip. Can you see that? Now we have one advertising account here called tutorials. Now you can create more advertising accounts here by clicking on create and adding new. But when you are opening a new business account, you can only create just one ad account first. Before you are allowed to create the second ad account or the third ad account, you must have spent a minimum amount of money in your very first ad account. Usually, the minimum you need to spend on your first ad account before you are given permission to create an extra 2 ad accounts is $25. So you need to spend at least $25 in this ad account for you to have multiple ad accounts here. Now, I think the maximum number of ad accounts you can have in one business account is 3. Before, it used to be 5. Before they reduced it to 5, it used to be unlimited. But of course, they keep making things more difficult. They keep changing their system. That's their business. So now you can create 3. What's the essence of having at least 3 ad accounts in one business account? The thing is this: you are not the owner of this platform. Anything can happen. Facebook can block one of your ad accounts. They can ban one of your ad accounts. Probably you ran ads that went against their policy and they did not approve of it. They might decide to restrict your access to that ad account. If you have more than one ad account in that business account, then you can simply move to running your ads in the second or third business account. So if they restrict the second one, you can move to the third one. That's just it. Another thing is this: Facebook can also restrict your business account depending on the severity of the crime in quotes you committed using their platform. But if you can't use all the ad accounts you have in this business account, you can use the ad account you have in your second business account. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So, Facebook restricting your ad account is much better than Facebook restricting your business account. And Facebook restricting your business account is much better than Facebook restricting your personal profile. Because in an event where Facebook restricts your personal profile, you will not be able to have access to both business accounts any longer. And then you need to go create a new business account from another personal profile account. So when Facebook bans this, it's worse. When Facebook bans one of your business accounts, it's not the end of the world because you might as well use the other business account you've created. When Facebook bans your ad account, it's still fine because you have several ad accounts you must have created as long as you've spent up to $25 in your very first ad account. So you want to be careful with your ads. You want to be careful with your ad account because Facebook is strict with their policies. You want to read and understand Facebook's policies with regards to advertising using their platform. You can't be negligent with this. If not, you will lose your ad account so fast, your business will not be able to get off the ground. So now we've been able to create one ad account here. We can also create one ad account in this one. You'll notice that this one does not have any ad account created in it. If I go to accounts, you'll see that there's no ad account. So if I want to create an ad account in my $1 billion account, I just click on create, repeat the same process I did for my e-com business, and that is done. But I'm not creating that. I'll leave that for later. You can see this under my e-com business, I have one ad account, but here I don't have any. So I will go to my e-com business and try creating a second ad account so that you see if it will work or not. Can you see this? Once you've created your first ad account, you don't have access to add an ad account or create a new ad account because you've not spent the minimum amount of money required here to have access to this. So I can't create any ad account here. I just wanted to show you so you see it. But you'll be able to do that much later. Once you've created your ad account, the next thing you need to have for your advertising to start proper is a business page. Just like people on Instagram have Instagram handles, an Instagram page where they say visit my page so you see what I sell. That also applies for Facebook. You have to create a Facebook business page. That is the page you will use to advertise your products and services. Also, creating this is pretty much straightforward. Just click on pages under account section. Come here, click on add. We want to create a new page. So what's your page all about? Depends on you. Don't be over focused on this. These things are really not very serious, but think about it. Okay, let's select this. Just choose any category here that you think explains your business or your page that you are planning to create. What do you want the page name to be? Whatever page name you want to give, make sure you can relate to the page and others can relate to it as well. Or some people don't even mind the page name they give because people who are buying or who intend to buy from you might not want to even look at the name of the page. As long as the product you have is something they desire, they will buy from you regardless of the name of the page. So for this, let me say I want to give it one big name. Like I said, these names don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, except you want to be a brand. So you want them to know the page as a brand. Then you can really focus on creating a name that people would remember. But if that's not the case, any name should work. So I could just let me give it Discount Arena, a name that came to my mind. Which category is the business under? Any of this is fine. You might just say it's a brand. Once we've done this, you click on create page. We are making progress. Our page has been created. Now, unlike ad accounts and business accounts, when it comes to pages, you can create an unlimited amount of pages. So some people like to use different pages to sell different products. Maybe the products are unique, so they create unique pages for individual products. Some people like to use one page to advertise for all the products they have. It doesn't matter. No one is better than the other. But as you proceed, you will make your own preference and roll with it. For now, there's no need for me to create a new page. So work with this. Now we're done with the basic setups needed to create our business account. We've created a business account, we've created an ad account, we've learned how to create a business page. Once you are done with all this, before we proceed to the next step, which is a bit more complicated, I'll just take you to our homepage so you understand this. So these are all tools available for the business account. This is your business settings, which we've been making use of. This is the ad account setting. This is the ad manager, your billing. So once you spent a certain amount of money and you want to check how much you spent, you want to come to billing, audiences, event manager. For the purpose of this course, where we are going to be focused on is just ads manager. Take note, this is an e-commerce course. The aim of this course is not to teach you how to advertise on Facebook. What I'm going to be doing here is just to show you the basics of how to advertise on Facebook, because Facebook advertising is very large, probably as large as e-commerce itself. So if we want to talk about Facebook advertising, we might be talking about a new course on its own entirely. But not to worry, I'm just going to take you through the basics of making use of Facebook to advertise. But we are not going to get deep down into it because that is not the purpose of this course. So you want to go to Ads Manager. Now here it is. This is your Ads Manager. This is your ad account. First thing, they say additional information. Does your business, e-com business? So remember, this is the first business account we created. Okay. To help maintain integrity of Facebook advertising, please review and accept our non-discriminatory policy. Just review and say accept. That's all. Just click on accept. We're done with that. Same here. Does your business, e-com business, focus on politics or on advocating for issues of national importance? We will use this information to improve the quality of ads shown to people. Your e-com business does not focus on politics, so just click on no. Take this off. So you can see that this is the only ad account we've created, and it was created under the business account called e-com business. This is how the entire user interface looks before you create your first ad with Facebook. When you start making use of this proper, it will look something like this. Let me show you how one of my ad accounts look. So you see how it will be once you've started using it properly. So I'm trying to go to one of my ad accounts I use. You can see this ad account I have. There are 2 business accounts here, 3 ad accounts here, 4 ad accounts here, 5 pages here. I told you can create an unlimited amount of pages. Usually for business account, the maximum ad account you can create is 3. So let's go to one of them. I'll come to the ad manager. I want to show you how yours would look like when you start making use of it. Oh, this particular account has been disabled by Facebook, so I can't use it to advertise any longer. I want to look for one that is not yet disabled. Can you see this? So this is how it will be when you start running ads. In this account, I've run ads for several products. There are 3 active ads currently running for 3 different products. I can show you, okay, what I spent last month in this account for advertising. So last month I spent about $880 to advertise on this account. This is for just one ad account. So you have to know that advertising does not come cheap. The thing is this. You don't want to look at advertising as an expenditure. Rather, you want to look at it as an investment, because if your ads are done properly, there's a tendency that for every $1 you spend, or for every 500 naira you spend, you make 1,000 naira. So if you know that for every $1 you spend, you make $2, why would you not want to spend more to advertise your products? So this is how it will look once you started creating your ads. So let's go back to the account we've created. So normally, once you want to create your first ad account, you have to click on create. This is it. Look here. It says account info needed. We need to confirm a few details about your account before you can publish an ad. You can either go to account overview to confirm this info before you start creating, or do this later. I can choose to do this later. But for the benefit of doubt, let me just click on account overview and see what they require. So many things have changed with Facebook. So let's see. A page is required to run ads. It will appear that a page is required to run ads. It will appear in your ad as the brand of business you are promoting, like I explained before. Do you have access to one or more pages? You will choose from your full list of pages later. The only page we have in this account is discount arena. So I just want to click on this. So that is done. So I've chosen that page. I ought to have done that while I was in the business settings section. I would have selected that page as my primary business page. There's a section to select that, but they've helped me do that here since I skipped that process initially. So that's fine, and that's handled. So if we come back here, if we click on create, that notification would not come up. Can you see it? So that's that for this class. In this class, you've learned how to create your Facebook business account. You also learned how to create your advertising account. And finally, you learned how to create a business page for your account. Last but not the least, I also showed you how to add your payment details to your ad account so that you can pay for your advertising. Now, in our next class, I'll be showing you how to install and set up a pixel for your advertising account. A pixel is what enables Facebook tracks data on your website. Installing a pixel is of critical importance to the success of your e-commerce business because it is what will help you with your optimization. That is what we'll be discussing in the next video. Bye.